Hey guys, how's it going? So today I am in a very snowy and icy car park because I'm going to do my Q&A. So I think we need to get in the car, get the heater on, and let's get this started. God, it is so cold this morning. It's showing -1 this morning. I was very tempted to bring the Mini because it hasn't been driven for a while. But then I looked at this weather, I thought, no. But then again, I think the Mini would have probably been better in the snow because this is not good at all. I'll just insert now a little tiny handbrake turn I did. Very icy this morning. So as you can see, it was, I wasn't even doing 5 miles an hour and I put on it was just skidding all over the place. So it's really icy this morning. So let's crack on with the Q&A. I've got a few other things to update you on, but we'll crack on with the Q&A. I've had quite a lot of questions. I've answered some of them, but I'll sort of answer them again, but with a bit more detail. So we'll go back a little bit, a few weeks ago now, because I've had quite a few questions on this car in terms of what people are going to buy one, and thanks, because they've said, I've watched your videos and it's made me even want to buy one even more, which is great. So. Yeah, I've also had a question on the Brothers Loopy GT asking any more video, like exhaust clips and engine sound and drive-bys. There will be some more coming, it's just when I can get it off him, when I can get the car off him. But I will be trying to get some more clips with that car because it is an awesome car. Someone's asked about the badges on this car. Obviously I've got 2 side badges. Now I didn't come with it, obviously, from new. I've added them, but it just sort of improves the side, I think. And they're just the same. It's the same Swift Sport badge that's used on the back. So straight out, get on eBay. They're not cheap because you need 2, so it's probably about 30 quid for both. It's not cheap, but they are metal and they do look decent on the side. So yeah, I had a few questions obviously on this car. In terms of the Mini, I've had someone, thanks to Simon Brown, if you're watching, for recommending me the MOT Ace Speed near Bradford. So I might look into that maybe. It's just a little bit far from where I am, just to have it MOT'd, but I'll have a look into that. Someone's asked me about the rear seats in my brother's car, whether they fold down. Yeah, they do, they fold down. And actually, it's funny because recently I had to move some furniture and his car was better than a Seat Ibiza. Because when you think of Seat Ibiza, the back sort of slopes, whereas his is more of a box shape. So you put the rear seats down, it's like a little minivan in there. So it's surprising when you think what it's like inside. It's better than you think. You've got, a decent amount of space in there for a small car anyway. If Joe does car vlogs is watching, yes, obviously my brother met up with you twice now, so that's great. I'm not quite sure what Truth Show, if you're watching, I'm not quite sure what you mean by the Daihatsu type of thing. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I've had someone message me from in America asking they're going to buy a Mini, what to look out for when they're going to look at one. Again, if you are watching or anyone else is going to buy one, what to look out for, just check out my video with what to look out, buying guide, because I've covered most of the things in that. I think I put in the comments about the ball joints. Just check the ball joints have either been replaced or that they're alright, because if a ball joint goes, it's not ideal, really. So check that the ball joints have been done fairly recently. Make sure you've got paperwork for them. Also, make sure on the Cooper Sport that the shock absorbers are decent. Mine are, but I know I've heard of some minis that the shockers won't replacing. So not quite sure how much they are, but Coney dampers in them. So yeah, that was obviously about the Mini. Now, someone's asked me very recently about would I ever consider supercharging the Mini. Not really. Now I know there is companies out there who will supercharge them for you. But no, not really, because I want to keep the Mini as it is and I don't want to add any more power or anything. I just want to keep it as it is because it's great as it is. and it's not all about the speed, it's the handling and you know, the character of the car. So I'm not thinking of supercharging it anytime soon. I probably will never do that, but who knows. Someone asked as well about sort of going back to this car again, about a few things. What's the about the range of the key fob, how close you have to be for the keyless entry to work? Pretty much at the door. You know, you can't, if you sort of, you just pop to the shop, you're coming out of the shop and your car's sort of, you know, a few meters away, it won't work. It only works literally when you're right next to the door. So yeah, it's quite a good system actually. So you know, no one can get in the car if you're not sort of round it. So yeah, it's not a bad keyless entry in that respect. Visibility, pulling out of junctions and things like that, it's not bad. You have got a bit of a blind spot, this pillar behind the passenger seat, and it is and the pillar at the back. It's not bad. It's not. I don't want to pull out that many junctions where you've got to look over. I did this morning actually. It's not too bad. Just got to double check if you like. So it's not too bad, to be fair. MPG, pretty good. I did a recent run to a car auction last weekend. I didn't buy anything, by the way, but in fact there's a very nice Mini which I'll insert now, which I would have bought. It was a Cooper Sport. If you check out CCA Car Auctions, that's what I went to. It didn't, well, up to that point it didn't sell at the auction, but you could buy it now for £16,400. So if anyone's interested, I'll put the link for CCA Car Auctions. They have some great cars there, some really nice cars, so check that out. But yeah, MPG varies between sort of 35 to 40. Now I know these computers are crap, they overread, but I'd say about 40 MPG I can get out of this car on a decent run. What's it like over bumps and puddles? Yeah, it's alright. I did sort of mention, commented on CJ, if you're watching on your post, because he's very good. You don't expect it to be luxurious or anything like that, but it's very good because obviously it's good over bumps, but then when you get on a decent road there's no body roll, so that just shows you how good the chassis is. And obviously it's a really well sorted chassis, so it's really good if we're dealing with bumps, and then it's really good when you're chucking it around some bends. So yeah, the ride is very, very good. Yeah, that's sort of answered your question. Sorry if I pronounced this wrong. Rijuan Char, if that's that pronounced, sorry if I haven't. But how much did you buy money and what is the mileage? Well, I don't know if I've mentioned this in the video. I bought the Mini for £12,500, and the mileage when I bought it was on 44,900. Now it's on 46,402 or something like that. So I've put quite a few miles since I bought it in July. So I've just been driving it everywhere really at the weekends. But yeah, obviously if you watch my previous video, I was talking about with the values of them. I'd like to think that if I sold it, I'd get that back straight away. They are going up in value, and just showed you last weekend. I know that was a Cooper Sport, but a Cooper Sport the value was 16 to 20 grand, the estimate. So they are going up in value. Then again, that one did only have 21,000 miles on it, so it was a beauty. The paintwork probably wanted a bit of a polish, but overall it was a lovely car. Andrew Parker GB. That is a great comment, because that is an excellent idea. Ever thought of doing point of view videos in the Mini drives in country lanes, things like that? PS enjoying the channel, by the way, keep up the good work, thanks for that. Yes, I am going to do some point of view videos. I wasn't up to that point, but I thought yeah, that's a really good idea. So there might just be a video coming, not until obviously the spring when the Mini's back out of storage. But yeah, definitely thinking of doing some point of view down some country lanes. There's quite a few country lanes near me, so yeah, that'll be a good idea. Let's see if I can find some more. Yeah, Charlie May, it's quite a couple of weeks ago now. Been looking at potential cars for to swap after my first year of insurance. Swiss Spot is a good contender, so underrated compared to the Ford Fiestas. Would you recommend these cars, and what else were you looking at when you got yours? Cheers. I did obviously comment on this, but I'll just go into it a bit further. I'd definitely recommend this for sport for if anyone's coming out of the first car into the second car, just as a sort of a, if you like, warm hatch. Yeah, definitely recommend it. And yeah, it's definitely underrated to the Ford Fiesta. You know, people look at this car and think, oh, it's just a Suzuki Swift. But when you actually get in this, because to be fair, the look of them, they don't look particularly. Oh, you've got the diffuse and the trails or something like that. But from the front, it really just looks like a normal Swift. So it is really underrated, and people don't realise how good they are at handling. They just think, oh, it's got, you know, a little bit more power, but it is really good handling car. I can't stress enough how good this car is at handling. And yeah, it definitely feels quicker than what it suggests. I mean, it says 8.7 to 60. Feels more like maybe 8, something like that. I think so anyway. Yeah, really good engine, bulletproof, and that just shows because they use them at the Nürburgring. So, which I wouldn't mind doing one day, maybe going to the Nürburgring and hiring one of theirs for sports, just seeing what a car can really do on the Nürburgring. Yeah, you know, I mean, the engine is great, rev to 7,000 RPM. In terms of what else I looked at when I was looking at this car, I looked at the Abarth 595s and the Twingo 133s. Just put me off with the Twingos, maybe just reliability or build quality. And you know, you can't beat reliability. I mean, touch wood, this car's never put a foot wrong. You know, it's great. Yeah, the Abarth again, just maybe reliability. I've heard a few issues with them. Great car though, great handling car. And they do sound awesome, but I went for the Swift, obviously. What else? Someone's put about the Mini. Looking good, can't beat a classic Mini for driving. No, you cannot. It's you really can't. You really can't. Someone's asked where I get my car cover from. The car cover was a company called on eBay Every Car Covered. So if you search for them, it was about £100 for the cover, but it's decent quality and it just protects. It's complete to the floor car cover, which is great. Just keeps the dust off it when it's sat in storage. Some more comments I've had on the GTI. Just saying, you know, great car and they are quite rare. Yeah, the obviously the colour that my brother's is the laser blue, which is like rare to the Raven blue. Again, watch our comparison video for a bit more info on that. My brother sort of goes into a bit more detail with that. So I'll just that sort of wraps up the Q&A really. I've got more questions, but obviously I am struggling for time this morning. But I will just say there's a few things happening next year which I'm really excited about. Obviously I've got London to Brighton coming up. Maybe a road trip to Monte Carlo is on the cards. I've also got plans for the Mini over the winter. So the car's obviously great and mint and everything, but the engine bay sort of lets it down slightly. So I'm thinking of maybe not taking the engine out, but just cleaning up parts of the engine, degreasing it, and maybe painting the block as far as I can get really. So yeah, plans just to sort of spruce the engine up a bit, get a bit more, get a bit cleaner, a bit more colour in there. It's so obviously the engine is crammed, you can't even, you know, it's just crammed in there. But and also that Mini I saw last weekend, I was just obviously looking around it, and the sills was painted red underneath. Mine are just black and got under seal on. So I think I'm going to paint the sills red and then cover it, sort of protect it, stop it getting chipped off. Stopping stones flicking up and chipping the paint. So I'm going to do the sills red and maybe the arches as well. So so yeah, a few plans for the Mini, but ideal opportunity while it's well, I'm not using it over the winter just to get the jobs done. Recently had the tie rod replaced, so as you can see from that picture, it was definitely ready for to be replaced. The bush, and I've also that's been done. I just need to get the tracking done now. So obviously I've got it as best as we can, but it just wants obviously checking properly with the machine to make sure that it's driving in a perfectly straight line. Now, recently I discovered an Instagram page called Mini Museum, Now they are thinking, if anyone lives in South Yorkshire, they're setting up a mini museum, which is great. Now I don't know if a lot of you probably have heard of Mr. Shmee 150. Obviously he had a classic mini. His mini, I think, will be featured in the museum. I messaged the guy, and he's coming looking for premises. And he also is quite keen for me to get involved, so I might be getting involved with that, which will be pretty awesome. So who knows what will happen, but it will probably obviously be the new year now. But yeah, I might be getting involved with some mini stuff, which will be awesome, because that will be really good to get involved with that. So apart from that, that sort of wraps this video up really. I know there's not been a lot with this car, but with the weather, and I've just been sort of doing bits with the mini. So, but obviously all is running well with this car. I think I might get a video out, might not be this year, might be next year now with this car. That sounds really weird, but so yeah, that really wraps this video up. So I hope you remember to like, comment and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you later on. Cheers.